Good morning, good day, how are we? It's another early morning one. Are we? 20 past 6. I've just been from a walk. I've done what have I done? 5.5 miles. 5.5 miles. Not bad for the morning. I did some yesterday as well. I was like, I keep on doing this to myself. My injuries, I don't know what it is. My thing ain't getting any better. So off to the doctors again, I think, because it's the pain's changed now. So it's I think it's a bit more expansive. It's gone round the back. It's around my bum. It's down the side of my bum. That's too personal. Do you want to see? I don't think YouTube would let me. Yeah, so that's that. Not a lot's gone on really. We had a wedding last week, which was fun. Seeing some of the family. Entertaining the troops, as it were. That was nice. The thing is, when it's too many people, it's hard to get time and just to chill and have a chat if you haven't seen somebody for a while. So you're kind of bouncing from place to place, but it was all right. We had a chuckle. I'm still doing well on the older not drinking. Said 3 months, and we're well into that now. I think is this the 6th week or the 5th week? 5th week, yeah. All of January's done. Been to the first week of February. So yeah, doing all right there. It's been all right. I'm in between. I've had some 0.0. The Beck's, I think it was a Beck's beer, which was all right. Just like I say, sometimes you just fancy a beer, and it has got a flavour to it, a taste to it, but it's not obviously got no alcohol in it, so that was all right. Yeah. But yeah, other than that, it's been interesting. This who am I question still lingers, but thinking about it more and talking about it more, my voice sounds all gravelly, doesn't it? I don't know why. More. I think it's more what you think of yourself, or what you think you are, who you think you are. Who am I? Not what am I. Who am I? Who am I? Because what other people perceive you as. That's what I was talking about last week, wasn't it? That's what I was talking about in the week with somebody as well. It was like who other people perceive you to be is a different thing, and it's individual for everybody. So I just got a message, just in case it's important. It's always important, isn't it? Yeah. So it's just working out who you are to you. So that's my mission for the week. Is figuring that shit out. I think I need a coffee. Oh. Yeah, I've tried to be cleaner this month, so I've only been having sort of black coffee and green tea and water. I did have a little bit of Pepsi Max last night, but that's it. That's in terms of my treat, and then the food's been pretty clean as well. Just brown rice and chicken. Boring, but you know. Let's trim down a bit, and then not a lot's going on. I've got to make my doctor's appointment. I'll do that today. That's what I've got to do today, and work stuff. This Joe Rogan thing's interesting, that people have sort of been talking about, because I'm a big fan. I've been listening to him since our kid told me to listen to it, and he so it's been probably about 4 years, and I haven't missed one as well. When I started listening, I'm listening to every single one, and I look forward to them because it's interesting. If you didn't know, read it. It's in the news. It's in the BBC, or everywhere news, because he gets so many people. He's like so many people watching his podcast or listening to his podcast, and they're like 2-3 hours long. A lot of them are. It's like I think he said. I think Spotify said that they get 11 million downloads on it, which is massive, really, for a long form podcast. So he's got a lot of clout. So he's got, I suppose, not that he ever wanted it, but he's got a lot of responsibility of who he has on there, because I mean, there is an influence there, obviously. I listen to it, and I don't agree with everybody that's on there. Not agree with who he gets on there, because that's up to him who he gets on there. Agree with their opinions or what they're saying, but I'll listen to. It's like, you can only form a better opinion if you listen to people with opposing views. So and sometimes it makes salient points. Sometimes like, no, I'm not into that. But it's interesting. But all this, that's what I don't understand. All this controversy is like, a lot of people who are moaning about it have actually never listened, and you can't just listen to one, because I think he says it quite a lot, that when it's easy to act for a short amount of time, when you've been sort of doing it for like God knows how long, and 2-3 hours at a time, so you've got thousands of hours of footage of him, it's hard to act. He's pretty much the same all the way through. Obviously, he's as he's done it more often, his thought has changed, and his experience, because of people he's spoken to. But as you do, you evolve. A thought evolves, and a person evolves. And yeah, it's just strange. It's a strange thing. If you don't like it, don't listen to it. And like I say, I've seen, there's all sorts of people that he has on there. I mean, you can go from some. I mean, the moaning is about the. There's a couple of doctors that he had on there, or maybe they are doctors. I think they were doctors. Yeah, they were doctors, both of them. But they had differing views about COVID. So which sort of verged onto the conspiracy theorist ones. But then he's had other doctors on there that haven't, who have, saying, like, along with the mainstream, just give me water, mainstream thought of what COVID is, and the treatments to it. He's had those people on there as well, and but yeah, like I say, if you listen, you listen. If you don't. Happy days, whatever. I don't know. I'm just rambling on. Maybe it's too early. Yeah. So that was one of those things. I don't know how long I'm going to do today. I'm just talking. What time are we? Oh, we've got plenty. Oh, I ain't got work yet. So, one thing. I wrote something down, but I'm not sure why I wrote it down. I should, because I'll write down. I'll have a thought. I'll talk about this, so I'll just write down the thing, but I don't actually write down why I want to talk about that thing or mention it. And I wrote down something called Dil de Reste, which a few people have said that too, and it was something that I don't know where I heard it or read it somewhere. So it's in Punjabi, that is, by the way. That's why you didn't understand what I was saying. So you got two types of Reste means relationships. So you got two types of relationships: Khoon de Reste and Dil de Reste. So you Khoon de Reste, your blood relatives, blood relationships. Khoon meaning blood. And they're your family relationships, so your blood relatives. And then Dil de Reste are called relationships of the Del meaning heart, relationships of the heart. So I'm trying to remember the actual saying, but essentially that you end up with more closer Del de Reste relationships of the heart than you do with your blood relatives, basically. They're more. I think, you have more, and but I can't remember why I wanted to talk about it. But I just thought I'd explain it, and then I thought if I explain it, maybe it will trigger whatever thought I had in my brain, but it hasn't. But yeah, that's what I've talked about. I've mentioned it to loads of people before, and Del de Reste. I've got loads of those. relationships of the heart. So that's your friends, basically. Whether they're reciprocated is a different story. But I'm that person. My brain annoys me. It's like, oh, why haven't you? That's funny shit. But anyway, so yeah. So I can't expand on that because I can't remember what I wanted to talk about. But so I can't really think. So if there was anything else, was there anything else? Let's talk about something else. I was listening to something yesterday about beauty. What is beauty? That was really a really interesting conversation that they were having, and objective and subjective. So is beauty objective or subjective? And one thing that was interesting that came out of it, and one thing that they said was that beauty is. I should really get the definition of objective and subjective, so you won't have to look it up. And I do happen to have a laptop here, so let's fire up this laptop. But yeah, so they were saying that beauty is objective, and attraction is subjective. That makes sense. Let's give you a definition of them both, so I won't screw it up, because I am stupid like that, and I'll get them mixed up. Oh, look at the light. The light. It's like the briefcase from Pulp Fiction. Yeah, we're good. Objective definition. Not influenced by personal feelings, opinions, in considered and representing facts. So it doesn't matter what they're like. It's beautiful, or whatever it is. It doesn't have to be a person. It can be a thing. It can be a thought. It could be an idea. It's beautiful. And then subjective. Subjective. Google brought it up for me. Influenced by personal feelings. Yeah, that makes sense then. So yeah. So beauty is objective, and attraction is subjective. That's quite an interesting. I never thought of it like that before, because I think it is. I think that there is that. It's those people that say their type, not my type, because that's subjective then, isn't it? That your that attraction to whatever, like I say, it could be a type of car. I don't like that kind of car. It's not my type. And then obviously it translates to being person as well. I've got my comfort blanket here. It's for person as well, isn't it? That they're not your type, or they are your type, because subjective. It's based on your personal feelings about whether somebody's attractive or not, or whether their range of the way they think, the way they speak, the way they articulate things is not something that you like or you enjoy or you're attracted to. So that was quite an interesting. It was quite an interesting talk, and not a talk. It was a conversation, and it was like it's finding the beauty. Because, like I say, because we always relate beauty to people, but it's defining the beauty in. I mean, as the majority of things, but it's finding the beauty in anything. And what was an interesting exercise that they did? I might do it actually. And it's like every week, what you have to do is they had names for each one, but I'll just explain each one. So the first one was you write it down every week, you journal it. So you're finding beauty in something natural, and write down what it is. Then you're finding beauty in something that's been made. So it could be piece of art, a building, anything that's been created, like physically created, not like a baby, because that's natural. And then the third was what was the third one? Finding the beauty, because the fourth one was finding the beauty in an idea. I can't remember the third one, but if I do, I'll put it in the description, because I'll just look back on it and put it in the description. But it's just and then it's basically training the muscle within you to see that you can find the beauty in it. There's beauty everywhere. Like I say, I walk a lot, so you do see a lot of beautiful things in nature. So even just hearing the birds sing is beautiful. Even just like, you know, there's some trees, or, you know, a nice skyline. It's it just makes you, if you get out in nature, nature does make you feel happy. Nature does make you feel, and then there's like some nice things in that you see within that as well. And then, like you say, there's beautiful beautiful things happen. Like I say, baby born, and the happiness that brings it has its own beauty, doesn't it? But yeah, it was I think I mentioned it before. It's called Metaphysical Milkshake. That it's a podcast that I listen to, and they do sort of life. It's called like they'll say life's big questions, but yeah, it's an interesting subject they were talking about. Excuse me. I don't think I'm going to do long today. I'm going to keep on yawning otherwise. But yeah, it's a funny old thing. What was nice last week is I got to have a coffee with some friends who I hadn't seen since September. August. So that was nice, just having an hour or so, having a coffee and a chinwag. Where does that? I'm not going to look it up. Where does that come from? But just a nice chat and coffee, and not quite putting the world to rights, but putting the world to rights. Yeah, it was like to catch up, just seeing people as well, seeing other people, and having a normal. I don't know how much of a normal conversation you can have with me, but you know, a abnormal conversation. And I am, for those people, there's been a couple of people have said that we've got to catch up. But I will arrange something soon. We just need to get this weekend out of the way, and then every weekend busy. But you know, I'll make time. I could sort something out. But yes, there was something that came into my head then, but I can't articulate it. But yeah, so it's just it's. I promise I will have more to say next week. But it's like I say, it's just my brain's a bit fuzzy at the moment. I don't know what it is. I think it is just because I'm just still probably a little bit tired. Because what I did, I went for a walk yesterday. Because I didn't go in the morning because I was tired, and I thought I'll have a break, and plus I had a few work things to do. I wanted to sort of my brain firing, and then I went in the evening, which then turned out to be about 12k. I walked, and then I was just chilling last night. Here we go. I've had about 6.5 hours, which ain't too bad for me. 6.5 hours sleep, but I think this achy pain kind of saps my energy a little bit as well. Make an appointment at the doctor's. I'll go. Yesterday I was meant to do it, and the day before I was like, I'll do it in a bit. I was like, in the days ago, and it was like, you just get busy with doing stuff, don't you? Idiot. You're just an idiot. Somebody asked me something the other day about. Yeah, I was tying ties again the other day. Fucking tie. It's amazing how many people can't do their tie properly at the wedding. So I was like, I was. It doesn't help that I keep on critiquing everybody's ties, saying, "No, you haven't done that right. It's wrong for your collar." They pat me, and then I'm taking people's ties off and tying the ties for them because either they're too short, or they've took, they took the back bit into the shirt because they've done it too long at the bottom because it's sticking out the bottom. It's just that's not what that's for. You stick it. There's a loop at the back. If you tie it properly, the loop at the back, and the length of the tie where it needs to be, and the knot's got to be right. So I think I did about 3 or 4. I did about 3 or 4 ties. Pass it here. Let me sort it out for you. But yeah, it's shocking that people can't do their ties. To me, I learned when I was like, I think I was about 6 or 7 years old, because I had to tie a tie for junior school. So that it used to be tied for me. Then eventually I learned how to tie a tie, and then every day was every day for every school I went to I had to tie a tie. Crazy, isn't it? So, no wonder I know how to. I like doing different knots though. I'm trying to learn a few more. Because there's some funky knots that you can do with your ties. But you need longer ties as well, so I need longer ties for them. It's amazing, just for ties. What a sad life I lead. Yeah, when I was at junior school in Bilston as well, I used to have to wear short shorts. So shorts to school. Even in the winter, we used to wear shorts because it was horrible. So I wear wellies and short. So I've got Wellington boots up to my knees and wearing shorts walking through the snow. And we used to walk to school. We never, very rarely, we'd get dropped off at school because mum and dad worked. So like somebody else would take. My sisters were older than me, so I'd go walk with them. But we had some sort of family friends that lived up the road. They'd take us to school. Otherwise, just go by yourself. You went to. Oh, sorry. And it was a good. I want to say a mile. It must have been at least a mile. But yeah, it's crazy days. Them days when we used to. Funny. You think about it now, and you wouldn't let the kids out. You walk that far. I mean, school's already around the corner here, so. Or the school they used to go to, they get dropped off now, so it's even easier. But yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how stuff changes, isn't it? I suppose we move on. Technology and all that technological movement that we've had over the past few years. So, what I want to do over the next week is see more people. I miss people. It's and we're going back into the offices now, so hopefully when I will go in next week. Actually, I keep on not that I'm putting it off. It's like I'll go. I don't seem to get around to doing it, but I think they're doing something to the office. I'm not sure, but I'll try and get in next week. Get back. You gotta get back used to it as well. Because although it's nice looking through looking down my mouth, isn't it? Although it's nice working from home, also that structure of going into the office is better. I think just having the option to work from home is nice, which I don't think goes away. It's just that you have a bit of both, and like I say, having the option to work from home is having the option to do both. Because sometimes it's stuff that you need to stay at home for, like for waiting for a delivery, or if you've got some repairs going on or whatever. I mean, I'm lucky that we've got people at home all the time, so it's all right. But still. But anyway, I've barely with anything. I've just rambled on for 25 minutes. So I'm gonna love you and leave you, and then get a coffee and wake up a little bit because I've got work to do. Yeah. So I hope this has been informative. It hasn't. It hasn't been informative to me whatsoever. But I'm looking over. Camera's there. I'm looking at the camera. So I will catch you next week. I promise I'll have more to talk about. I'm just looking away. I'm looking at the camera. And then I'll blow your mind next week. That's me looking at me. It's weird when I look at the camera, look at this camera thing. So the camera's there, so I look at the camera. But then I end up looking at me, who's looking away from the camera, which is weird. Or I'll look up there, which is nothing, or an alarm sensor. So, yeah, whatever. Anyway, love you, especially you.